Hey, everybody, welcome to episode number 3 of Joey D's Golf Journey, the podcast. So, I've been making a lot of videos lately out on YouTube, and I've increased my subscriber count. I'm up to like 336 subscribers. That is so cool. I really would love to see my channel take off, and I guess that's probably what every content creator says when they get their channel going. But, I'm really just trying to relate to the normal golfer, man. The everyday weekend hacker, guys that are a little older like myself. But I seem to get some younger guys out there too, which is cool. We just filmed that. We filmed that 9-hole scramble from the front tees to see how low we could go, and man, we shot 28 and a par 35. We birdied every hole but one. Thank God we had Joe Licky. I counted it up, and out of the 28 shots that we took, 14 of them were Joe's. So the other 14 combined were me, JT, and Kevin. But nonetheless, it was a team effort, and we all came through at one point or another, whether it was putting or a second shot or whatever. It was a true team effort. The nice thing about it, though, is Joe Licky was hitting bombs. And from the front tees on that course, it made things a whole lot easier. But still, you got to hit the shots, you got to make the putts, and we were just on fire. And so that was the front 9 at Keeney Park. We will be doing another video like that, but the next time we will be playing the back 9. The only thing we got to do is work it out with the pro shop to let us do it. But anyway, my golf game. Wow, I tell you what, I started this year and I had this thing on my YouTube channel that I was going to do, the drive to 5. Right, I started my year at 8 handicap, and I wanted to get down to a 5. Now, at the middle to end of last year, I was playing some fantastic golf. Now, don't get me wrong, I've been pretty solid this year. I've been consistent, but I can't seem to either finish a round or stay away from a blow up hole. I had a round the other day where I played, got through 17 holes without a double bogey, and I double bogeyed the 18th hole for an 80. So I'm gonna tell you guys something. There was a time, and we're going back to late 90s, probably like 96, 97. 96 is when I got my first titanium driver, and I started that year at 11 handicap, and I finished that year at a 4. I mean, it was amazing. The difference of the distance I picked up going from at the time, I think I was hitting a persimmon 3-wood off the tee to hitting a titanium driver. I picked up, it was ridiculous. It was like 30 yards. It was crazy. And my scores just plummeted. And that continued on through, 2005, 6, 7. It wasn't until I went through my first divorce in 2008, 2009, I didn't get to play as much golf. And my game suffered for it. And it just never returned. That level of golf that I had never returned. And I'm sure that there's a lot of you out there that feel that pain, right? You know you have that game inside you. You see the flashes, right? You're playing along, and boom, you'll make 4 or 5 pars in a row, or maybe you'll shoot, a decent round on the front side, come in shooting 1 or 2 over, and then you blow up on the back. Or vice versa. You play a shitty front 9, and then boom, you light it up on the back, which is my preference. I would rather light it up on the back than blow up on the back. But I'll give you an example. I shot on Saturday of last week, I shot 38 on the front 9, and I was feeling really good. Really good. And then out of nowhere, I can't explain it, as normally we can't explain these things in golf. My swing went away. I shot 51 on the back 9. 51. I haven't shot fucking 51 since I was like, I don't know, 15, 16. I don't remember the last time I shot in the 50s. It was embarrassing. But how does one shoot 38.51? Well, you can ask me because I did it. And the swing abandoned me. And then Sunday, it just was the same thing. The swing was not there. Somehow, I managed to patch around together. And I shot 84. And I've just lost power in my house. But I can continue recording because I am on battery. But I got no power. And it is the middle of summer. Great. Anyway, so I'll sit in the dark and talk to you guys. Whoa, power's back on. What do you know? Okay, we're back in action. That was pretty bizarre. Anyway, so like I said, I shot 38.51 and then scraped together an 84. My putting was on point on Sunday. I got up and down a lot, and that 84 that's all I was going to get out of that round. And I still don't know how I did it. And then right after that is when, that same day is when we shot that 9-hole scramble video. And I think you saw that my driving, if you watched that video, which I encourage you to do, you'll see that video, I did not drive the ball well. Anyway, another thing that I'd love for you guys to check out is my interview I did with Mike Sweeney. Now, Mike he's a pro, right? He's a professional golfer, and he plays on the minor league golf tour in Florida. But Mike has had his PGA Tour Canada card, and then he didn't keep it, unfortunately, and then he ended up getting like 6 or 7 starts on the Latin swing of the PGA Tour America. So just to explain, the Canadian Tour and the PGA Tour, the Latino PGA Tour, they combined to form the PGA Tour Americas. So there is a Latin American swing, and then there's the Canadian swing. So Mike did the Canada swing, didn't keep his card, said he didn't play well, if you listen to an interview, and then he went and he had like 6 or 7 starts on the Latin swing, and he didn't keep his card there either, but he was close. One good break one way or another, and it might have been a different story, but he has actually Monday qualified for a Korn Ferry event. He's done a lot. But the thing that I admire the most about Mike is that he's 29 years old and he refuses to give up on his dream. Sort of like me. I'm 56, right? I started this YouTube channel a year ago, and I refuse to give up on my dream. I would love for YouTube I'd love to be able to monetize this. I'd love to be able to just be what I get to do. This would be my dream job. Now, I can't do it without more subscribers, but I will say, my subscribers, I'm gaining like 60 or 70 a month right now. Haven't had any videos go viral. I will say the first one that I made for the Lazarus clubs, where I just sat there and talked about these hybrid clubs, is the biggest video so far. It's got like 7,500 views. The rest of them, there's a couple of them that's gone over 1,000. But I mostly get anywhere from, 30, 40, 100, couple hundred. I've done some reviews of some clubs. When I do the review of the clubs, those get the biggest views also. But I know a lot of you guys like the encore stuff. And it truly is just, 4 weekend hackers out there having a great time and just bringing it to you. And we try to come up with something unique to do every time we're out there. And, we are in, it's called the Players Club at a course. And a lot of times in Connecticut, they're called Men's Club or Players Club or whatever. And so we are playing in a weekly tournament every Saturday. And so, a lot of times we film on Saturday because that's when the 4 of us are together. And we're together on Sundays too. But it's got to be something we can do in combination of playing in the tournament also. So that's important. And but we will just keep thinking of ideas to do, and keep making videos. How many of you guys watch the Open Championship? I still will always call it the British Open. I mean, as a kid, it was called the British Open. Somewhere along the line, it got changed to the Open Championship, but it was always the British Open when I was a kid. And for about a million years, it seemed like it was the British Open. So I'll still always call it the British Open. I heard a lot of people saying that even though Scotty Scheffler was, the best golfer on the planet, that he wasn't ready to win an Open Championship yet because, all of his wins were, in America or whatever. And, he wasn't a links golfer yet because he hit the ball so high and blah, blah, blah. And boy, did he fucking show them wrong, right? Don't tell Scotty Scheffler that he can't win something. Hey, Scotty, you're not good enough to play in a British Open yet. And Scotty said, hold my beer. Hold my beer. And what'd he do? He just ran away with it. I mean, really, I know he won by 3 strokes, but if it wasn't for that double bogey he made coming in, I mean, it was never in danger, right? On that last day, he really was never in danger of relinquishing that lead. Excuse me. Relinquishing that lead at all. So, kudos to Scotty on that. Kudos to Brandel. That's good. To Bryson DeChambeau, who, he shot like 78 the first day. And then, he became part of the story over the weekend. The guy just lit it up after that first bad round. We talk about a guy who's changed his perception to the public. Now, I know he still plays on LIV, and I know there's people that have an opinion one way or another. But Bryson has breathed life into this game with his YouTube channel. And he went from being one of the most, disliked guys to really people love him. Now, I know there was that clip of him at the Open Championship where he kind of gave the Marshall a hard time. He could have handled that better. I think he could have handled it better. But, I don't know what's going through these guys' minds. When they're on the golf course, they are in go mode. And I see it every year when I volunteer at the Travelers Championship. These guys are on the inside of the ropes are all business, man. I mean, they don't want to know nothing. It's amazing the stupid shit people yell from the crowd too. I mean, they yell shit that they think the guy's going to stop and like engage in a conversation with them because, they think they're funny or they think they're going to laugh or whatever, give them a thumbs up, whatever it is. These guys are probably like, whatever, dude. Like they don't even flinch. They don't pay attention. They don't look over. They could care less. They are there to do a job. And whether you yell mashed potatoes or, make some sort of comment from the gallery about anything else, they don't care. I know there are some guys with thinner skin, some guys with thicker skin, but for the most part, listen, I hear it all the time when I'm working the Travelers Championship. It is non-stop. But these guys don't care. So it is pretty cool. But I don't know, the way he handled it with that Marshall, I think he probably could have been a little less, I don't know. I don't want to say rude, but yeah, rude. He's like, well, you can get out of my way now. And, he could have just said, I'm all set. You can, I'm good now. Just the way he said it was just, I didn't think it was cool. What do we got coming up on Joey D's golf journey? Well, I'm going to tell you one thing we're going to do. We're going to do that 9-hole scramble match again. Now, we played our home course of Keeney Park, right? And so we're going to play the back 9. Same team. Joe Litke, who was the key to us. I mean, I counted it up. We took 28 shots, and now I may have already said this in this podcast. Forgive me if I'm repeating myself. We took 28 shots, and 14 of them were used by Joe Litke. 14! So half of his shots contributed to our score. He was obviously the key to our 28. So, when we do the back 9, I want Joe to be there. So we're working on that. Joe is actually Kevin's brother-in-law, so Kevin will get that lined up, and we'll do the back nine, and we'll see how well we do on the back nine from the front tees, and we'll see what that ends up being as a total score. It's pretty cool that we shot 28. It's the back nine's got, I think the back nine's very scoreable, but there are some holes that are hard. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get anywhere around there again. If we could shoot in the fifth, I could never imagine that we would shoot that low for 9 holes of golf. And if we can do it again for the back nine, then that could be a score in the 50s. And I would have never thought that we could do that. But then it's going to be a tough one to beat, right? So I'm trying to make that a series. How low can we go, right? So that was episode 1, which came out pretty good, even though Kevin, was swearing like a freaking sailor. And believe me, I edited out 3/4 of what he said, but that's just how he is. That's how we all are on the golf course. I'm a little more conscious of it when I know I'm making a video, because I don't want to keep dropping F-bombs every other word, because I do have a couple of, there is some kids that are subscribers to my channel, and, I don't want any parent, thinking, you shouldn't be listening to Joey D's Golf Journey. That's not what I want. I want everybody to be able to come out and listen to the channel and be a subscriber and enjoy the content and just have a good time. Listen, this is just all about having a good time. So also with the How Low Can You Go series, I'm going to make a video and say, hey, let's see how much of a difference distance really can make to the average golfer. So I'm going to get out there. It'll probably be 9 holes again in the afternoon, but and play the front tees by myself and see what I score, right? And see if distance really makes a difference even to the average golfer. Because we still have to hit our second shots, we still have to make our putts. But how many of us chase distance on a regular basis? Well, I'm raising my hand because I was always chasing distance. I've done the speed train, the super speed sticks, I've done the ripstick, whatever. I don't seem to ever hit the ball any farther than 235, 240. A few years ago when I was really dedicated to the speed sticks, I did get it up to like 250. I think my longest drive was like 260 something, which is freaking huge for me, huge. But now, I'm still hanging out in the 230 to 240, range, and that all depends on, how dry the course is, did I hit a little low hook, whatever. But that's usually where I am. And surprisingly, I haven't really, I'm using that mini driver. I do have the Callaway Smoke, which is in timeout right now because I've been struggling with it. But that TaylorMade burner, that mini driver, man, oh man, I hit that just as far as my driver. I don't think I lose any distance with it. I'm not even sure why I still have the driver in the bag. I do love that Newton shaft I have on my Callaway, so that's part of it. When I'm hitting that driver good, it's going a long way. For me, it's going a long way. Anyway, like I said, right now it's in timeout. What do we got coming up at the course this weekend? We just got an individual gross net type of competition. I don't know if we're going to have something going on Sunday as far as the Players Club goes, but we always have matches going, especially when Kevin's in the group. He'll always get a game going within the foursome, so there's always a little bit of a money match there, usually like a $5 Nassau with greenies and birdies. We don't do sandies usually, but we do greenies and birdies. So we'll see what we can accomplish this weekend. And you know what? I think that's about all I got for this episode. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen. If there's something that you want me to talk about, please send me some suggestions. Listen, you can send me emails at Dillon, dillon.joe3@gmail.com, and say, hey, Joe, on your podcast, I would really love it if you would talk about this. Or, whatever you guys want to hear me babble on about. Really, I just get on here and I just kind of freeform it. I don't have a script. When I log on and I hit that freaking record button, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. I just start going. You know why? Because when I'm talking golf, I could talk about golf all day. So, thanks again for listening. Hope you guys hit him straight this weekend. And remember, keep the ball in front of you. That's the main key for me. Just keep the ball in front of you, and you should do okay. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. This has been episode number 3, Joey D's Golf Journey podcast. Have a great day.